DJJ. Sometimes we butt heads because we fight for juvenile justice. So at times we can come to the table and work together, and at times we bump heads. But the one thing that I will say, DJJ has rules and regulations that allow them to take care of children, not mace children, which is happening in the adult jails. Not to rough up children or put them in isolation for days at a time, which is happening in the county jails. What we don't understand is that our children are under attack. When you're placing a child in an adult jail, this is a problem. And these are kids with misdemeanors. So if that child gets arrested in Polk County, 10, 11 years old, they're sitting in the courthouse and they could be sitting in the county jail. The youngest child that I met was 10 years old visiting in the jail. We have a problem. So these are the things that we are pushing. And what we're doing is it's a lot of organizing, and we've kind of picked 9 top counties where the numbers are just bad. Palm Beach is one of them. There was a form that we passed out, and pretty much just last year, 3,285 kids were arrested at school. And so a lot of these kids, like 1,100 of them were arrested their first time. Did something stupid, got arrested at school, now they have an arrest record. So since Palm Beach is one of our top 9 counties, we are organizing in Palm Beach. What we're doing is we're setting up and we're having community meetings in our top counties. I just left from Tampa. They're organized and ready to go. You know, we had one in Tallahassee, organized, ready to go. We're getting folks up to Tallahassee. During these community meetings, it's about a 25-minute presentation. We show the overall Florida numbers, because Florida is bad, period. Throughout the whole United States, Florida is one of the worst. Second to California, but remember, California has double the amount of people in it. Then we show the local numbers, which would kind of show you and highlight the Palm Beach numbers, some of the information which I've already kind of produced here for you guys. We're asking for people to show up and support. We're going to get folks up to Tallahassee. We want to hear from parents and kids who've been wrapped up in the system one way or another, through the education system or a child who's been in the JJ system. We want parents to tell their stories. We're writing a documentary, pretty much putting together some literature, Voices Behind the Fence. We're taking on a fight because we realize that when we go up and we try to talk common sense to people, some people don't understand common sense.
Well.
And since they don't want it, since they feel like people like to go to the Capitol and say, well, the people want. Well, the people want. And it's funny, majority of the time what they're saying, and what the people want is what they want, their constituents that they have the deals with want. So for us, what we're doing is we're taking the people to Tallahassee. We're going to let the people tell them what they want. We're organizing. In the month of March or April, we're still fluctuating the dates. We're going to get all the counties together. And we're all busing folks, and we're getting up there, and we're going to go and have a big rally and a press conference in the month of March or April. But I just kind of wanted to give you this information, and I wanted to let you know that we're targeting doing the Palm Beach community meeting that I'm inviting everyone to, and I'm asking folks to reach out to other organizations, to the community and such. And we have some great organizers here, some people that I've been working with locally. I reached out to the Urban League. They invited me to speak. I'm so happy. The Urban League said that they will definitely support the cause. I've been kind of meeting and talking with them. They've been linking me up with churches and linking me up with folks, and they're taking the lead on helping organize this. We haven't definitively have a date for Palm Beach yet. We threw out that it probably be the 16th. But anyone who's interested, we should know by Monday. We just got to make sure we have everything kind of honed down. We will be sending out a flyer, emails, calling. We're inviting folks to please come to this presentation so you can see the local numbers. So we can, and please invite people who've been in this, who've been caught up in this system so we can hear their stories. And invite folks who are willing to take the fight to tally. When we call on you, we need soldiers. When I call on you, I need soldiers. I've been up there already. I've been fighting. I see how it goes. You stand up, you say something, you got 18 lobbyists for the other people, following you and scouting you. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. We can't do this fight alone. We have to get up. We have to organize. And I appreciate the time. Thank you so much. The 16th of this month, February, yes, to have the community meeting where we'll do the presentation and definitely talk to more people. We have Ms. Perry, could you stand up and just say a quick word, real quick about the venue?
The thing about having to be in that Catholic community church right up the street
be on Australia. So we let everybody know, like she said, on Monday, how everything will go on, what we'll do. But we are looking at the 16th of February for the presentation.
If you didn't get her handout, there are more on the table. You can pick it up on your way out. And Dante Bailey's contact information is there. He and I kind of made a mess of it, but it's there in addition to him having business cards for his contact. We're going to move on now. Representative Powell. He's going to let us know what he's been doing, what efforts are being initiated around these issues.
First of all, I'd like to say, the first thing I want to do is I want to thank everybody for coming out this afternoon. Because when I look in the audience, I see a lot of people who've been out there working. A lot of people who already have been out there hitting the streets and disseminating the information that's necessary to kind of get our community back in order. One of the things we really need to focus on as well is the idea of prevention. And when Christine Henderson got up and she talked about changing the world, one of the things that you said you wanted to come in and change the lives of these young people. And what I've realized is that young people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So if I sit here in this suit and I preach down to the kids in my community and tell them, listen, you need to pull your pants up, you need to go to school, you need to, it's me dictating to them how to live their lives. But when they see me in, a regular t-shirt and shorts and we're running and playing basketball, lifting weights together, then they can relate to me. And one of the ideas of leadership is this idea that you have to be close enough to relate, but far enough ahead to motivate. So if you're far enough ahead to motivate, then kids will relate to you better and you'll be able to make an impact in their lives. And I can tell you this because it's something that I've been able to do since returning here from Tallahassee. And when I say Tallahassee, from getting my master's degree, I came home and started working in the community, and I've seen this impact. Now, each one of us has an opportunity to make a change in somebody's life. What I don't see here today, we're talking about who we need to help. But what I don't see is a lot of the people who are being affected. I'm glad to see Mike Edmondson here, who is from the state attorney's office, and our new state attorney, Dave Ehrenberg, is going to be very instrumental in something that we talked about earlier. And that is kids being filed into the adult system. Did you know that a kid as young as 14 can be charged as an adult with an adult crime, depending on what it is, and that crime will follow them for the rest of their life? And what I've got, and what we're working on in my office, is a direct file bill, and I know State Attorney Dave Ehrenberg is also looking at the way direct files happen, because in Palm Beach County, under previous administrations, we had a high rate of direct files. But it's not just Palm Beach County. It's happening in Duval County, Pinellas County, Hillsborough County. There needs to be some uniformity throughout the state to prevent this. Earlier, we talked about, and I'll go about, we talked about the Jim King legislation that was sponsored by Senator Chris Smith. Just to reiterate what you said in this game, it keeps Florida working. What it does is it prohibits state agencies from denying an application for license, permit, or certificate or employment. That applies only to state agencies. It doesn't apply to county or local governments. So what we've done is we've put in for a public records request to get the information and statistics on how this has been affected since that has come out. When we talked last week, we did get some information from some of the agencies, and what we were able to obtain is that there was a statement from the state agencies basically on the front page of the report that cites the statute. And for some agencies, it doesn't apply. I mean, if you committed a crime that's related to money laundering or some kind of international schemes to defraud, you obviously wouldn't be able to work for the Office of Insurance Regulation or something in the financial industry. So we, firefighters, and we've requested, we've done a public request for the state agencies to get this information. In terms of ban the box, Senator Clemens has, and Chauncey may be able to tell you a little more. I talked to Senator Clemens, and he told me that he would be able to file that. And as a senator, senators are able to file unlimited bills. However, on the House side, we have a limit to the number of bills we can file, and my slots are filled. But what I have been able to do is put it in drafting. If there's another representative, and I won't say there is, and I can't force somebody else to take a bill. If there's another representative who's looking for a bill, and this is something that they would like to specialize in, that draft will be available. Worst case scenario, next year, when we have an opportunity to file bills again, that can be one of the first bills that I do have the opportunity to file. In a nutshell, that's it.
One of the things that could happen is it could be, we've been told about the mandatory process. I'm not sure if that's the route that will go, because if Senator Clemens files the bill and it's heard and it dies, it's a wrap.
Jesse, you hear me now? I'm sorry, if Senator Clemens files the bill and it's heard in the committee and it dies, it can't move. If the bill is filed on the House side and it goes into committee and it's heard and it dies, it can't move. What could happen is it could be amended onto a similar bill. Now, we don't even know if there's a bill out there that's similar yet. So to jump ahead and say that we'll find a bill that's similar is putting the cart before the horse. I prefer not to do that yet because I don't know what's out there.
May I make a recommendation?
Absolutely.
How could we do a review of what has been filed to see what we could potentially amend, so we work all sides to try to get, the best results. The other inquiry I have, Representative Powell, is what are your other bills, and are there no opportunities for you to maybe substitute our, the draft that you have, or something, if you could see there's no opportunities for substituting out if something doesn't go forward or something of that nature?
Actually, in the legislature, we work in terms of partnerships and bills that I filed. Once you file the bill, of course, if you, and I can check into this, I can pull a bill. I've got some bills running with some of the senators that they're the lead on, and I've only got 6 bills. And some of the senators are the lead on some bills, and I've got the, and I wish I had my list with me today. We've got a family personal care bill where if somebody takes leave of absence to take care of a family member, they can't be dismissed from their job. We've got the criminal prosecution of juveniles bill, which obviously deals with the direct file legislation. There's the, I've got a pets bill that works with dog breeders or works on how people can breed animals. And if you give me a call later, I can pull you up.
Yeah, I'd like you to.
And
prioritize us to the top.
Well, you got to understand, and understanding is the best thing in the world. We had an opportunity, and we only get a short window to file our bills. They have to be filed by, well, we had to have them drafted by yesterday, and we have to have our bills filed and ready to go. You can pull this information up, and it's, I appreciate being put on the hot spot because you want your bill here, but the problem is we only have a limited amount of time to get bills in. And when we find out a couple days or a week before, it's kind of hard to say, okay, this bill takes priority over this one because we have a lot of people that we have to deal with. Now, what I can do is continue to look at it, but that's something that we have to do, and right now it's probably not the best way to go about it and say,